Hello friends, welcome to another episode of Techie Tuesdays. I'm your host S. Ravi Kumar. Techie Tuesdays is a weekly show where I answer your tech and career related queries. So if you like my answers, then please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends, family and colleagues. Now let's get started with today's questions. Today's first question is by Dipanshu Pant. He's asking, how can a person with no technical background make a website and handle it? Dipanshu, in 21st century there is solution for everything. So if you are not a technical person but you want to make a website and you want to handle it also, you can do that with the help of no code tools or no code website or web application development tools. Some of the popular tools are like Shopify, Webflow, Zapier, Card, Adalo, Bubble. So there are many no code tools which are available for creating drag and drop websites or you can say web applications. However, they don't provide you as much freedom as a development platform does. So if you are using a development platform like .NET and ASP.NET to create a web application or a website, you can do that, but again for that you need to learn these things. However, learn programming. But if you are not a technical person, you just know your requirement that okay, my application should have these features, then you can use these no code tools. Like Shopify is very popular website and hosting platform for creating your e-commerce based site. Nowadays they are showing advertisement on YouTube and everywhere where they are promoting people who are like small shop owners or small business owners to use Shopify for creating their websites, business websites or e-commerce websites. Similarly, you can use Webflow or you can use WordPress to create websites for normal, you can say normal stuff like promotion and your blog or all the other stuffs. So yes, you can use no code tools like these to create a website without having any technical knowledge, and you can maintain them also because they have the tools to manage those websites also. So yes, you can maintain them also with using these no code tools. However, if you need customization, then of course you will have to learn programming and you have to develop that thing by yourself, or maybe you can hire someone to develop it and maintain it. As simple as that. Next question is from Mayukh Chatterjee. He's asking, do front-end web developers really make websites from scratch every time, or do they have built-in sketches, templates, which they just modify? Mayukh, it primarily depends on the requirement of the website or requirement of the web application. If the web application or website is a corporate website, then in that scenario they have to follow the corporate design principles which are given by their company. So they have to use some particular set of colors, fonts and all the other things in designing their websites, and most of the time in this kind of scenario they have a template available to design their front-end UI or front-end website, you can say. However, if they are completely new or if they are developing a product from the scratch, in that scenario again it depends on whether they have money or whether they have time for developing everything from scratch. Because see, many things are required if you are creating the UI, front-end UI from scratch. What you need is probably UI designs, then you need CSS matching that design, and then you need HTML matching that design. So nowadays what happens is most of the companies, they buy pre-built templates of different you can say there are different design firms who sell pre-built website templates or web application templates which companies use in creating their products or application. Like if I talk about myself, I myself buy HTML5 templates from various websites like Wrap Bootstrap is there, theme forest is there. From there I buy HTML5 templates for my websites or blog sites or whatever I develop. So I buy themes from there. I just do the customization according to or design the screens according to me. However, rest of the things like CSS and JavaScript framework, whatever is being used on that theme, is already provided by the theme designer or theme design companies. And if you are using any UI library also, there are many customized premium themes available. Like I use Blazorize library, and recently I came to know that Blazorize is also providing customized themes for creating application using Blazorize controls. So those kind of things are available. So it's primarily, as I said, it primarily depends on requirements, time, and for whom you are creating that website. Next question is from Alicia. She is asking, which languages full stack developer must know for backend development? Alisa, the choice of language primarily depends on which front-end development language you are more comfortable in. So let's say you are a JavaScript front-end developer, you are an Angular developer, or you are a React developer. So in that scenario, the best backend development languages for you would be either Node.js or Deno. So using Node.js or Deno, you can create web APIs or backend APIs, and you should also know SQL or structured query language if you are dealing with backend data, RDBMS databases or relational databases. So for a JavaScript based backend developer, he or she must know about this Node.js, Deno, and structured query language or SQL. If the front-end developer is an ASP.NET front-end developer, so let's say a front-end developer is in developer in ASP.NET MVC or ASP.NET Blazor, then he should know about, of course, C#, because he can create a backend also using C#, and he should know about SQL again if he is dealing with databases, relational databases. So he should know about sequential query language. So of course, the language depends on the choice of front-end language. So whichever front-end language you are using, based on that you have to choose the back-end language. Primarily it will be a Java, like JavaScript based language like Node.js or Deno, or it will be some other language like Java, C# or something else. And they should know about SQL or structured query language if they have to work on RDBMS based applications. Next question is from Rahul Pujara. He's asking, why do my senior want me to learn ASP.NET and C# while I want to work on React and move towards modern technologies? Should I continue? It's been 2.5 months since I joined. Rahul, to answer your first question, it might be because your senior is seeing an opportunity, or the project in which you are going to work is on ASP.NET and C#. Nowadays, I would say that almost 50 to 60% of IT services company in India do develop in ASP.NET and C#, especially after .NET Core is getting popular. So many companies are moving towards .NET. So that's the reason your senior wants you to learn ASP.NET C#, because he is forcing an opportunity for you in the company, in a team where ASP.NET and C# is used. Because of course he is not your enemy, he is not your too much of a well-wisher, because he doesn't care much about your career or your growth. He, of course, being a senior in the company, he will think about what is beneficial for the company and what is beneficial for the project. So if there is a project in ASP.NET and C#, he will ask you to learn ASP.NET and C#. He doesn't have to care about whether you want to learn React or whether you want to learn Angular or whether you want to learn whatever XYZ technology you like. So that is the answer to your first question. Second question, you are saying that should I continue? It's been 2.5 months since I joined. So it primarily depends on what what is your experience level, and at which level you are working there right now. So if you have joined there as a fresher, then it's your choice. If you are getting an opportunity, then of course you can leave the company, but again you have to fulfill the notice period, and it will go like you have spent 2.5 months, and it can stretch up to another 2 months, because if you are finding a job, then you give interview, then you get a job. So I can easily see that even if right now you go for job change, you will have to spend another 3-4 months, so around 6 months you will be spending there, and it will not be a healthy environment for you to work. So my suggestion for you would be to stick there and learn ASP.NET and C#, because see, the thing is that if you have to grow in a company, you have to do what company says. And of course ASP.NET and C# has good future. You can say I'm a very loud promoter of ASP.NET and C# and .NET technology. So I think you should stick there and learn ASP.NET and C#, because there is a job in that technology in your company. But if you want to change, and if you are getting a job and you can get a job within 1 month more, then of course you can go for the change. But again, it will be kind of a bad thing on your resume, because you have to mention that, and you have to tell everywhere that why do you want to leave, why did you left this company so early in just 3 months or 2 months. Because remember one thing, that if you say someone that my company was forcing me to learn ASP.NET Core, or ASP.NET and C#, whereas I want to learn this thing, not everyone will take it on a positive note, because most of the service companies think that their employees should work on whatever kind of work they are getting. They don't care much about what their employees' personal technology learning goals are. Next question is from Sayat. He's asking, are most C# developer jobs time based or output based? Sayat, not only C# developer jobs, I would say all the jobs are time based and output based. You can join either as an electrician, or as a plumber, or as an accountant, or as an anything. So whenever you are doing a job, it will be either time based or output based, because that's why it's called as a job. You are doing a job there. You go to a company, you spend 9 hours there, so that would be again time based. You are spending your you are getting money for spending the time 9 hours and doing the job, so that is output based. So yes, all the jobs are time based and output based, even if you are talking about any language. That's why I'm generalizing this for every job. I'm not generalizing this just for C# developer. Be it a Python developer, be it a Java developer, be it a React developer, be it a Angular developer, every developer job or every job is time based and output based, because that is job. If you are doing something which is not time or output based, that is called as passive income, and that doesn't count as a job. For example, if you are earning a commission from stocks, so that is again passive income, because you have invested money once, and rest everything happens that how that stock performs. It has nothing to, you are not investing your time there, you are not investing output there. Similarly, we talk about creating these YouTube videos also, or creating training videos. So if you create training videos, again, once you create training videos, you have just spent a small amount of time, and based on that time, you are people are watching that video and getting the money, but that is again passive income. But when we talk about job, all the developer jobs are time and output based. Next question is from Vikram Rathod. He is asking, how does a new .NET developer survive in the IT industry, as I am practicing for it, not having a CS background? Vikram, if you doesn't have a CS background, I have two suggestions for you. Number one, either get some certification if you talk about .NET developer, being a .NET developer, or if you are practicing to be a .NET developer, then I would suggest you to get a .NET certification. There are many .NET or Azure based certifications. So you can get a Azure.NET developer based certification from Microsoft, or you can get certifications from any online course provider. So at least get some kind of certification in order to get a job. Another option would be you can get into freelancing, and but before freelancing, as your question is that how will you survive, how does a new .NET developer survive? So I think without a CS background, so I said that I'm saying for you, especially the person who doesn't have a CS background and a new .NET developer, then you have to, what you have to do is you have to follow the 4-step guideline which I have said about freelancing, that while learning .NET, you have to create your portfolio site, you have to update your GitHub, you have to contribute to some open source project. So you have to first build your brand, and then you have to apply for freelance job. That's how you can survive. Otherwise, you have to get some certification, join a .NET bootcamp and ask them to help you in getting job. So these were my answers to your tech and career related queries in this episode of Techie Tuesdays. If you like your questions to be featured in next episode of Techie Tuesdays, you can DM me your questions on any social media platform. All my social media handles are Techie Rathor. I hope you like my answers, and if you like my answers, then please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your friends, family and colleagues. So until my next video, take care. Bye bye.